is your lunch, okay? Now I put $1 in there so you can buy some milk. You can ask one of the big kids where to do that.
I like this opening shot in the movie. This is director Mark Waters telling the audience right off the bat that this movie is from the point of view of Lindsay Lohan's character, and that's made evident from how she's narrating in the beginning of the movie. Something I'm not mad at all.
The first day of school was a blur. A stressful, surreal blur.
I like this movie providing narration on Katie's first day of school and how different it was for her compared to being homeschooled.
Don't read ahead.
No green pen.
No food in class.
Bleiben Ihren vorgenannten Platz.
And I gotta say, this movie excels at that with its choice of edits.
Of course, all the plastics are in the same gym class.
Where are the plastics?
They're teen royalty.
I love this scene with Janice and Damien introducing the plastics. And again, this movie excels at its choice of edits during the scene, making it even more enjoyable.
Regina George is flawless.
She has 2 Fendi purses and a silver Lexus.
I hear she does car commercials in Japan.
One time she met John Stamos on a plane,
And he told her she was pretty.
One time she punched me in the face. It was awesome.
Hey.
Get in, loser. We're going shopping.
Have I mentioned how good Rachel McAdams is as Regina George?
But let me just tell you something about Aaron. All he cares about is school and his mom and his friends.
Is that bad?
We kept our eyes open for opportunities for sabotage.
Okay, I think it's time to look at the music and the score of the movie. The music and the score in the movie turns out to be pretty fetch, as the inclusion of the songs in certain scenes do help to make them better overall and more impactful.
Because the next time you see her, she'd be like, oh, Kevin G.
Thank you, Kevin. That's enough.
From the scene with the plastics being introduced,
And evil takes a human form in Regina George.
to the scene of them arriving at Regina's house, to the montage scene of them trying to sabotage Regina. So with that, the movie earns a 5 out of 5 for music and score.
Oh my god, I love your skirt. Where did you get it?
It was my mom's in the 80s.
Vintage. So adorable.
I like this scene with Katie becoming more aware of how two-faced Regina is after realizing she did the same thing to her earlier in the movie.
Oh my god, I love your bracelet. Where did you get it?
And it's mainly because it shows Katie's social maturity. Okay, I think it's time to talk about the genre of the movie, which is the comedy. And I gotta say, it's pretty fetch.
Stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen.
Oh, so sorry, Regina. The comedy in the movie delivers with the clever one-liners, witty dialogue, and cultural observations, as the humor feels fresh and intelligent. The other thing that makes the movie funny is the relatable high school dynamics. The film exaggerates and pokes fun at the universal cliques and social hierarchies of high school, making it easy for the audience to understand and connect to, and also laugh at their own experience. The movie also has some great quotes that end up sticking to you as an audience member even after the movie is over.
That's why her hair is so big. It's full of secrets.
You're from Africa. Why are you white? Oh my god, Karen, you can't just ask people why they're white.
Get in, loser. We're going shopping.
So with that, the movie earns a 5 out of 5 for comedy.
Because being with the plastics was like being famous.
Okay, I think it's time to talk about the editing in the movie. And it'll go in the good category. The movie does a great job conveying a consistent tone as Mark Waters captures the tone perfectly through his directing. Waters balances comedy, drama, and satire, and maintains a lighthearted tone while addressing serious themes like peer pressure and identity. And this is shaped by the choice of edits in the movie. The inclusion of scene cuts throughout the entire film makes the movie more enjoyable, and the editing overall ends up being one of the highlights of the movie. So with that, the movie earns a 5 out of 5 for editing.
I was a woman possessed.
Okay, I think it's time to look at the actors and the acting and the dialogue in the movie. And it'll go in the good category. The characters in Mean Girls are shaped by the brilliant cast and performances. Rachel McAdams perfectly balances charm and menace as Regina, while Amanda Seyfried does a great job displaying Karen's airheadedness without being too over the top. Lacey Chabert does a great job capturing the teenage insecurity in Gretchen, and Lindsay Lohan captures Katie's transformation beautifully throughout the film. Characters like Katie the new kid, Regina the manipulative queen bee, and Janice the outsider represents recognizable high school archetypes, but they're given enough depth to avoid being one-dimensional. And most of the characters go through substantial character development throughout the film, making the characters even more impactful. Katie's transformation into Regina was displayed well, as the movie does a nice job displaying how her mannerisms change while also becoming more manipulative and also more controlling of the entire plastics by taking down Regina, something that was even mentioned by herself.
I learned how to control everyone around me.
And this evolution of the characters in the movie gives the story heart and makes the characters more than just comedic tools.
I know, right?
So with that, the movie earns a 5 out of 5 for actors in acting and dialogue.
You try to act like you're so innocent, like, oh, I used to live in Africa with all the little birdies and the little monkeys.
Okay, I think it's time to look at the directing and the cinematography in the movie. And it'll go in the good category. Mark Waters' camera work throughout the film enhances comedic timing and character interactions. Close-ups that captures Regina's insults, while wide shots that emphasize group dynamics, such as the iconic mall fountain scene where the plastics strut together. The playful and polished approach visual style mirrors the film's satirical yet polished approach to high school life. And Waters' direction ensures the humor lands without overshadowing the emotional beats, which makes the story more engaging and relatable. The cinematography is great as well, as it uses the visual elements to reinforce the film's themes. For example, the cafeteria map scene visually portrays the high school social hierarchy in a way that's both clear and funny, and the jungle fight sequences are exaggerated visual metaphors for the primal nature of high school dynamics, which adds a layer of humor and creativity. Also, color palettes like the plastics wearing pink emphasizes cliques and character identities throughout the movie. Together, Waters' direction and thoughtful cinematography makes Mean Girls visually engaging while amplifying the humor and themes. So with that, the movie earns a 5 out of 5 for directing and cinematography. This is another nice shot with the camera panning out from Regina as everyone fights around her.
You all have got to stop calling each other sluts and whores. It just makes it okay for guys to call you sluts and whores.
This.
I don't know why I did it. I guess it's probably because I've got a big lesbian crush on you.
I know I mentioned how good the plastics were, but Lizzie Kaplan is great as Janice as well.
You can take that fake apology and shove it right up your hairy...
Regina survives this. What I do like about this scene though is how it serves both as a plot twist and a comedic exaggeration, which is consistent with the film's tone. In all, it symbolizes a dramatic turning point in the story, where Regina is literally and figuratively knocked down. From a narrative perspective, this event forces the characters to confront the consequences of their actions. For Regina, it leads to self-reflection and growth, as she eventually reforms and channels her energy into sports. For Katie, it's part of the realization that toxic behavior she engaged in hurt others, leading to her to take responsibility and make amends. Not to mention, this scene reflects the film's satirical take on high school drama, using absurdity to underline its message about the destructive nature of gossip, cliques, and social hierarchies.
And some for everybody else.
Okay, I think it's time to talk about the plot and the story of the movie. And it'll go in the good category. The plot and the story of the movie excels with its relatable themes and characters, satirical yet insightful social commentary, and strong narrative arc to go along with character development. The way the movie successfully explores universal themes like fitting in, peer pressure, and identity make it highly relatable to the audience of all ages. The movie provides an honest look at the consequences of bullying, gossip, and toxic friendships, while the humor keeps the story light, but at the same time doesn't shy away from addressing real issues like insecurity and personal growth. Katie's journey from innocence to corruption and back to redemption is compelling, and the character transformations by the end of the movie deliver satisfying payoffs. So with that, the movie earns a 5 out of 5 for plot and story. Okay, so now that we have all the numbers, it's time to add them up. So the movie ends up with a 5 out of 5, and that gives it an A rating.